I am going to call to order the February 2nd meeting of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners. Note the presence of all three commissioners, and I'm going to ask our newest commissioner, Jamila Winder, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, with the addition of our newest commissioner, the first agenda item will be the reorganization of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners. With the January 17th resignation of Board Chair Dr. Val Arkush, the courts have selected and sworn in Jamila H. Winder as our new commissioner. The full board will now have to fill the board chair vacancy. Is there a nomination from the board for the role of Montgomery County Board Chair?
I'd like to nominate Commissioner Ken Lawrence for the Montgomery County Board Chair.
Okay, thank you, and I will second that. Are there any other nominations? All right, hearing none, we will move on to a vote. Are there any negative votes? All right, motion passes. And now we will move on to the election of the vice chair. I hereby nominate Jamila Winder for the Montgomery County Board Vice Chair. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All right. Are there any other nominations? All right, hearing none, we'll move on to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing no negative votes, motion passes. Congratulations, Jamila.
Thank you.
For my board comments, first, once again, I'm extremely proud to welcome Jamila Winder as our new commissioner and to her first board meeting today. It's fitting that at the beginning of Black History Month, we have sworn in our first Black woman commissioner in Montgomery County history. And I congratulate Commissioner Winder, who went through a rigorous interview and selection process where her leadership skills, ability to bring people together, and commitment to community service shone through to make her the best choice to help lead us into the future. And I'd also like to thank President Judge Carolyn Corluccio and the Montgomery County Court of Common Pleas for moving quickly to fill this appointment so the county government could continue to function. And you can read more about Jamila and her accomplishments on our website at www.montcopa.org. Please join me now in giving our new commissioner a warm welcome. As I mentioned at our last meeting, our Black History Month Planning Committee has planned a great series of events this month for residents to attend. Our kickoff panel yesterday featured several experts who talked candidly about historical, systemic racial disparities in hunger and homelessness, and within the agencies who serve those communities. The remaining virtual panel discussions, hosted via Zoom, will take place on Wednesday, February 8th and 15th from noon to 1:30 p.m. Upcoming topics of discussion will include education, financial institutions and employment, and law enforcement, policing, community advocacy, and organizing. And I'm also happy to share this year we will have the first in-person celebration in a few years to complete the series. And that will take place on the last Wednesday of the month at the Human Services Center in Norristown from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. The in-person celebration will include live performances followed by lunch. And I want to thank the members of the Montgomery County Black History Month Committee for putting together this important program and the opportunity for discussion. Interested participants can learn more or register at www.montcopa.org/Black History Month. And all programming is free for participants, but you do need to register for the virtual events if you want to be able to comment. And now moving on to our Way to Go award winners from January. I'm pleased to announce this month's Way to Go award winners. This program is open to all county employees. The Way to Go Montco program encourages employees to nominate their colleagues for going above and beyond. To date, more than 170 county employees have submitted nominations singing the praises of their coworkers. Each month, we draw 5 employees from the list of nominations to win $150, that's after taxes, in their paycheck to recognize them for their work. And this month, I'm pleased to announce the following 10 winners since we did not announce winners at the previous meeting. Brandon Rapp with our District Attorney's Office for always going above and beyond to help out members of the public. Ed Martin with our Department of Public Safety. EMS, and OMD Division for providing excellent customer service and assistance with special projects such as the homebound vaccination distribution program. Jamie Washburn with our Office of Veterans Affairs for providing excellent customer service while simultaneously providing an innovative approach to honor veterans and highlight veterans issues. Steve Wyteka, a foreman with our Road and Bridges Department, for doing the job of multiple employees when the department faced staffing shortages. He always steps up to get the job done and has put his blacksmith skills to work to upgrade some of the county's steel bridges. David Marosek with our IT department for being very helpful when one of our colleagues has their IT profile mistakenly deleted. David worked for days to restore her access and get everything back up and running. Anna Marie Pierce with our Office of Public Health for her efforts to start up and run the COVID vaccination and testing sites, getting the online registration sites running, and setting up and taking down and moving the physical sites as needed. Lisa Perry with our Public Defender's Office for helping the attorneys do their job, pitching in to help, and always meeting her deadlines. Donna Wellington with our district courts for always going above and beyond and being a leader in the court. She's organized and detail-oriented to keep the office running. Julie Kleingunther with our Early Learning Resource Center for going above and beyond to serve not only the staff at the ELRC, but their clients and families receiving services. And finally, Michelle Fisher with our Juvenile Probation Office for her genuine commitment and dedication to the department and for ensuring that the department is respected and performing to the best of its ability. So congratulations to all of our winners. We'll be reaching out with more details, and a reminder to our employees that nominations remain open. You can visit the employee corner to fill out the nomination form. Mr. Gill, do you have any?
Yes, I do.
remarks?
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'd also like to take a moment to congratulate Commissioner Winder on her new position. I look forward to helping you get acquainted with the county government and meeting the various employees and departments within the county. And it's my hope and I trust that the judges here in the Court of Common Pleas chose someone who will make Montgomery County more open and transparent to both me as the sole Republican on the board, but also the taxpayers of all political affiliations across Montgomery County. And it's also my hope that the days of marginalizing my participation in the decision-making process are gone, and a future of more transparent, effective, and efficient government begins today. And I'm very optimistic that that's what will happen with this new board. So I look forward to the changes. I'm hoping for a positive outcome, and that's my hope. And I realize that as a minority commissioner, I won't always agree with my two colleagues, but I think having a dialogue of disagreement is very important in all levels of government to provide checks and balances. And that's something I've always done. I will continue to do. But that being said, I hope we do what's best for the county as a whole, and I look forward to this beginning.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Commissioner Winder.
Great. Well, great to be here this morning, and thank you to Chair Lawrence, as well as Commissioner Gale for giving me a warm welcome. Thank you to President Judge Carluccio and our courts for approving the appointment of me to join this esteemed board. This new beginning comes as a full circle moment for me. Growing up in Montgomery County since 1983, I reflect on Dr. King's legacy and his I Have a Dream speech. And you all know the famous excerpt, I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. And so yesterday, Dr. King's dream was alive and well, and I was so honored to celebrate with county staff, leaders from the county, my family, my friends, this amazing moment. You know, my grandmother, she's 103 years old, growing up in the segregated South. To have her living and realizing this moment just is truly a dream come true for me. So, you know, I want to ensure that you all know that you have my commitment to serve our county and serve our county with integrity, make ethical decisions, and work with my colleagues to ensure that we support, you know, more than 2,000 county staff, our residents, and that we keep the residents of Montgomery County at the center of everything we do. So I'm honored and thrilled to be here. I'm going on very little sleep, but excited to serve. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll now move on to announcements, commendations, presentations, and reports. And we have Laura Williamson here from Health and Human Services to talk about Heart Health Month recognition.
So hello, my name is Laura Williamson and I'm from the Office of Community Information and Education, and I'm here to talk about Heart Health Month. February is Heart Health Month. Next slide. So what is the goal of Heart Health Month? The goal is to raise awareness of heart disease. And heart disease is a term that refers to a whole host of heart conditions that can negatively affect someone's quality of life and the way that their health is. According to the CDC, coronary artery disease is the most common heart condition in America, and it is a disease within the heart's major blood vessels that is caused by a buildup of plaque that can prevent proper blood flow to the heart and throughout the body. Coronary artery disease can ultimately lead to a heart attack and a cardiac arrest. Next slide. So why does Heart Health Month matter? Heart disease is the #1 killer in America for men and women. One American dies every 34 seconds to heart disease. So this is a time when we can pause, recognize what we're doing in our life to harm our heart health, what we can do to boost our heart health, and learn warning signs for heart disease. I want to bring up Damar Hamlin. As some of you may know, Damar Hamlin suffered a sudden cardiac arrest about a month ago on the football field, but he received every link of the chain of survival to recover. He received CPR compressions and a defibrillator less than a minute after he collapsed, which really saved his heart and his brain to keep the oxygen and blood flowing until an ambulance arrived and he was able to receive advanced care. So what is Montgomery County doing this month to celebrate Heart Health Month? Right now we have launched a social media campaign on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok to educate our followers and our residents how we can live a heart healthy life in a fun kind of way. We're also showing people the warning signs to look out for heart disease. We're also providing some CPR and AED trainings this month. Tomorrow on National Wear Red Day, we are hosting a county employee training. Everyone will learn what to do in the case of a sudden cardiac arrest, and we'll wear red and we'll celebrate the day. Next Tuesday, on February 7th, I'm hosting another CPR training. This is for any county employee. Right now the class is full, but I host a class every first Tuesday of the month at the HSC building. This month we're also hosting 2 blood drives. The county has been hosting blood drives since 2008, and we've had a strong partnership with the American Red Cross for the past 15 years. You can donate blood at the HSC building on February 6th from 9 to 2, or at 1 Montgomery Plaza on February 16th, 9 to 2. You can sign up for the blood drives by visiting redcrossblood.org using the code HSC Norristown and 1 Montgomery Plaza. And I also want to encourage everyone to sign up for a CPR class because it's so important that everyone in our community knows CPR, knows how to take action in the case of a sudden cardiac arrest. And you can email me at laura.williamson@montgomerycountypa.gov for more information. Thank you so much and have a great day. Happy Heart Health Month.
All right, Laura, thank you very much for presenting that important information. I want to note the presence of our District Attorney, Kevin Steele, and also our Controller, Karen Sanchez. And now we will move on to public comment on matters appearing on the agenda. Mr. Stein.
Good morning. All speakers should sign into the meeting sheet available in the back of the room or virtual as directed by Ms. Co-Francisco. All speakers should come to the podium if they are physically able. Speakers should identify themselves by name and municipality. Those seeking to speak during the time set aside for public comments on items appearing on the agenda must state the specific agenda items they wish to address. Those seeking to speak during the time set aside for general public comments must identify the subject matter which they wish to address. All public comments must be relevant or germane to county business. Under the law, this means that the subject matter of all comments must be limited to items or issues which are currently before the Commissioners for consideration or which may come for the Commissioners for consideration at a future
Objection.
meeting. Please state the nature of your objection.
That's wrong. The general portion is for anything pertaining to the county, including any comments about the commissioners or anybody else. So every time you say
Ms.
that.
Braccio,
on the
as we've
agenda, it's
discussed
not-
before, that is
we're not
incorrect.
voting on that.
Whether a matter is germane to county business, a determination to be made by the county solicitor. A time limit of 2 minutes will be monitored, and county staff will respectfully request speakers to conclude their comments if the speaker goes beyond the time allotted. The board is not required to respond to public comments during the course of the meeting, so the public is reminded this is not an opportunity for dialogue or questions and answers. The board chair may direct county staff to follow up on any questions or additional comments after the meeting. Disruptive behavior, including but not limited to yelling from the seats, arguing whether a matter is germane to county business once the solicitor has made a determination of such, or refusing to yield the floor once time has elapsed and being requested to sit down, shall be grounds for removal or muting from the meeting without further admonishment or warning. And as always, the commissioners welcome written correspondence, comments, and feedback at commissioners@montgomery.org.
Before we move further, Chairman Lawrence, I'd just like to comment on this matter. I mentioned its opening comments. It's my hope that moving into the future, we have more transparent government in Montgomery County. And I think one of the easy ways we can improve on that is an easy change to the policy when it comes to public comment. And it's my hope that with the two of you, we can discuss in the future making some changes to how we're operating the public comment portion of the meeting, perhaps extending the time limit to 4 minutes or find a compromise, because it's been clear over the last several months since this has been the way we conduct the meeting that it's not a productive way to hear the dialogue between the public and the Board of Commissioners. So I'm in favor of no time limits. That's how it used to be when I first became a commissioner. But I think we certainly need to improve how we are conducting these meetings. And I value the input of the public, realize they travel distance to get here. And I think that's an easy way the three of us can improve transparency in government. So I just want to put that on the record and hope we can accomplish that.
Ready to proceed?
Okay, first we'll start with those having public comment on agenda items in person. So first we have Pauline Braccio with agenda item comment for items F and G.
Good morning, Pauline Braccio from Thomason Township. Thank you, Commissioner Gale. I've been waiting to hear you say that for a very long time.
Remember, I posed this. I
What?
posed this policy.
Well, I am remembering that because I've been waiting for you to do this for a long time. So, thank you for that. The part that's unlawful is, Josh, when we were talking before the meeting started, is when you're saying that you get to decide what is germane and what isn't to the county business. The general public statement does not mean what they're going to be voting on in the future because we can't know that. We are not psychic. The general comment period is for anything that we have concerns about in the county. And if I make a statement about Ken Lawrence, then you should hear me out. Because whether it is offensive or not, that is still my right to speak, covered by the U.S. Constitution. Now, if you're not on board with the Constitution, I don't even know how you can be a lawyer. So being the county solicitor does not make you the end-all be-all, and I really don't understand why Valerie let you go as if you're running the show. Because you're not supposed to be running the show. You were not elected, okay? So I don't know what Ken's going to do, but you're the one who keeps running the show. So if he wants to be a man about it and actually be the chair, then he should be running the show, not you. So you said under oath in court that you made up these rules. And I don't see where you get the authority to do that. And since they are illegal or unlawful, whichever word you want to use, I think they should be totally dismissed. I would be happy to rewrite them for you to make them lawful, if you would like, and even if you don't like, I could do that. Thank you.
Next we have David Morgan, who has agenda item comment on items L 10 through 12 and 16.
David Morgan of Ambler. The last meeting comment that came in was about various other states and localities getting contract awards. So I looked back and I found a document about the Montgomery County Justice Center is from Skidmore, Owings and Merrill in Wall Street, New York. Well, sorry, World Trade Center, New York. And that's a large impetus for this program, and it's not a local contractor. I'm also noticing that L10 through 12 are involving states of Alabama, Massachusetts, and Tennessee. But I know sometimes you have expertise in certain states and you need to use that. But if we can try to use our local contractors, be great. And then more importantly, a concern I have is about number 16, because once again, there's no price on this, and it's energy services. And last meeting was referred a question to Mr. Soltesiak that is this energy for the whole, electric service for the whole county, all buildings apparently, which seems like a vast problem to put a number on. But I just know that looking at PICO bills, that the average rate of kilowatt hour is going from about 7 cents to about 10 cents lately. So the county had locked in a rate for a while, but now we have to really look at all our costs in construction and operating systems. Can we afford it as taxpayers? We've seen 21% increase in the last 3 years in our tax bills. So knowing that we have stretching of budgets, food drives, that a lot of people have difficulty paying their rent because their landlord might have increased their rent to pay for county taxes and things like that. So that rate of increase is really to be, it's a year budget process to really check out why we have a tax increase and can we avoid a fourth one. It's early in the year, so hopefully many measures, maybe less floors, maybe redesigning the change orders for this building project can help us save money.
Next for agenda item comment, we have Kim Henderson, who is online. Kim?
Good morning. My name is Kim Henderson, East Norton Township. I would like to welcome Commissioner Winder. Congratulations on your appointment as the new commissioner, and I look forward to transparency and fairness as you work on the county's behalf. So congratulations. Congratulations, Commissioner Lawrence, for now being the chair. So congratulations there. And thank you, Commissioner Joe Gale, for speaking up as far as the public comments goes. And we look forward to more of that from you. Today, I would like to talk about the term cognitive dissonance, which is used to describe the mental discomfort that results from holding two conflicting beliefs, values, or attitudes. And so today, Ms. Williamson already spoke about Heart Month. And it's interesting that she brought up Damar Hamlin having a sudden heart attack, as we're seeing more and more people have sudden heart attacks, and especially a professional who's in the most athletic shape that there possibly could be, and yet he had a heart attack on the field. And the cognitive dissonance that I speak of is that the vaccine is causing these heart problems. And we just saw that again on MSNBC this week, where Yasmin, and I don't know how to say her last name, so I don't want to butcher it, also said that she had myocarditis from the common cold, which we've never seen before in human history. We have not seen all of these athletes have heart attacks on the field, and I'm concerned that the county is still pushing the vaccine when we are seeing these health issues. Thank you.
Okay, we will now go to general public comment. So we have Pauline Braccio.
Pauline Braccio, Benson Township. Yeah, I fully concur with Kim Henderson. And the CDC, I believe it was last meeting, Ken Souter came up and he played a clip on his phone saying that the CDC now acknowledges that the vaccine does cause myocarditis and can cause and does cause heart attacks, sudden heart attacks, in people who are in the physical best shape that they can be in. So we really have to stop pushing these vaccines and these testings that could save the county money. Even if you're getting it from the state, to save the state money, whatever is coming from, that money is being wasted. And those PCR tests are not even reliable. They are give a lot of false negatives and positives. So even if you take the test, you don't really know if you have it or not. So I actually had COVID, and I'm old, overweight, diabetic, asthmatic, and I breezed right through it. I had no issues. I was not vaccinated. And I fully believe that had I been vaccinated, I'd already been dead, which might make Ken Lawrence happy, but nobody else, I hope. So anyway, you know, this COVID thing is a 1% chance of dying. There's a lot of diseases that are way higher than that, and that the fact that the county is pouring money into the trash can for something that is totally unnecessary is really speaks to the inability for the government in this county to recognize the truth and to actually follow what the CDC is saying. And so many people who died in the beginning when COVID came out, that didn't happen because of COVID itself. That happened because they were put on ventilators. Nearly 100% of the people who were hospitalized and put on ventilators died. So I think you need to rethink that. Thank you.
Next, for general public comment, we have David Morgan.
We've had some comments about health today, and another aspect of my concern is a public health matter of, I mentioned last meeting about abortion pills being either prescribed or even just sold at drugstores lately. And there's ways that one can know about pregnancy by pregnancy resource centers getting free pregnancy tests or ultrasounds to know how far along the pregnancy is, because these pills are supposed to be for only so far along.
Remember to tie this into county stuff.
County health, county activities.
Business.
So the public health is in the part of the county. I hope you stop my clock, please, if you're talking. Anyway, so Office of Public Health perhaps can encourage more awareness of this aspect of risk, because ectopic pregnancy, incomplete action of the pills, or how far along come into play seriously if a woman's on her own. And there is also ability to reverse a pill, an abortion pill reversal. I have an article from a famous obstetrician about that.
Uncle Mama then?
Pardon me?
Uncle Mama's?
Uncle Mama's, right, the help that they've gotten too. Right, thank you, sir. They've done a great help in getting doulas to help and equating with the black birth outcomes increasing at hospital visits, so that's wonderful, yeah. And also, I mentioned about National Adoption Month. I did look into this a bit. In 1976 in Massachusetts was the first mention of this, and I encourage in our calendar planning, we have Heart Month. We have an October request for Columbus Day to be concerned, to be looked at, as well as our indigenous people, and also in November to consider National Adoption Month and to really to highlight the happy days in court, as was mentioned. So that I think that would be really good to have people aware as they're getting married, even just really, could I adopt? We consider it in our family. It's been a wonderful success having 2 adoptions.
Next, for general public comment, we have Ali Sherbany.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Well, thank you, Jesus, we're all here. Ken, congratulations on the promotion. I actually was assuming that you were going to become become the chair, but that's, yeah, Ken, I guess that makes sense. So again, good morning, madam. Congratulations on your appointment to the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners. You've been exalted to a position of power. You are now in a position to alleviate the suffering of many of our brothers and sisters, not just those of similar color or race, but really all those that are oppressed. If you don't know me, my name is Ali Sherbini, the director of the Norristown Company. I'm in front of you to continue proposing a partnership that breaks folks out of generational cycles of poverty without further burdening the hardworking taxpayers. People are severely burdened by the cost of living, which is what you touched on. Households are stuck in perpetual deficits. There aren't enough hours in a day. There's no capacity to save for home ownership, not even for FHA 3.5-point mortgage programs. Raising wages just exacerbates the inflationary problem. As a result, families are delegated to concentrations of hardship where kids grow up struggling to cope with very little hope from having very few examples or positive role models. Parents are forced to dedicate most of their time keeping households afloat rather than investing their time into their children's upbringing. It's evident that the greatest sources of instability are rooted from financial hardship. Further, the federal government is not in a position to continue robbing Peter to pay Paul in order to subsidize the national in our neighborhood housing crisis. We are borrowing money, spending it, and not having a way of returning it. Taxing the population is just going to exacerbate the problem. It's going to be debilitating. Not only is it destructive to public finance, it is creating a population that is highly dependent on government. Our hope is to promote individual prosperity and for government to facilitate an environment that protects equal liberty for all. So as a partnership, we create a...
My apologies, your 2 minutes are up.
Okay. Do you mind if I just finish this last part? Would that be okay with
No.
Commissioner Ken?
No, that's not okay. If you want to meet with Commissioner Winder, if you want to reach out to her individually, you can, but it's 2 minutes for public comment here.
Okay. Is that like unanimous across the board?
Mr. Sherman, your 2 minutes are up. Please sit down.
Okay.
Commissioner Gale sees it differently.
I'll keep my mouth shut about Commissioner Gale. Or excuse me, Commissioner Ken.
We're going to move on to resolutions.
Sorry, we just have one other public
Oh,
comment.
okay, sorry.
That's okay. Kim Henderson, general public comment.
Thank you, Kelly. And thank you again, commissioners, for the opportunity to speak once again. I just wanted to make another comment on the agenda, and that is all the bids that are up for consideration. And as I was looking over the agenda today, I'm noticing that there are more bids that are coming across from the state of Pennsylvania, and I am happy to see that, and I hope that we can get even more from the county of Montgomery. As we have the last 3 years, we've seen a 21% increase in our taxes, in our property taxes, and we have a deficit currently, I believe, around between 18 and 21 million. And so that's going to show us a tax increase most likely again in the next year. So I'm hoping that, and Commissioner Winder, since you're new to the board, that you'll pay special attention to hopefully getting more and more bids approved of people who are actually within the county, being such a large county as we are. My next statement is about education, as I know that was also a comment that was made. And I am in Norristown School District. My son did attend Norristown High School, and he graduated a few years ago. And there was a comment that I had with one of the administrators who was encouraging the standardized testing and passing, and that there was an encouragement that if you pass the standardized testing, that you can get the privilege of leaving school early as a senior. And from the county standpoint, I would hope that we focus more on the education process, and I think that would help people come out of poverty. And I look forward to hearing more ideas on how we can support all of the school districts to stay within reading, writing, and arithmetic rather than some of the other shenanigans that are going on. Thank you.
That concludes our public comment.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to resolutions. The first is approval of amendments to the 2021 Annual Action Plan. Okay, I was looking for Kaylee. And so was I.
Alas, Kaylee's not here. My name's Terry McMullen with the Office of Housing and Community Development, filling in here to present this item. The Federal American Rescue Plan Act has made available to Montgomery County supplemental funding in the amount of $5,080,650 through the through the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development's Home Investment Partnerships Program. This supplemental funding is referred to as Home ARP, and it is specifically dedicated to housing and homeless activities that include the development and construction of new congregant emergency shelter, construction of new affordable housing, rental assistance for individuals and families, and housing-related services to support individuals and families. Under the regulations governing the home program, the county is required to make a substantial amendment to our program year 2021 annual action plan to include in the plan a plan for using the supplemental funding. As part of the amendment process, we have collected input from the community regarding the needs for housing and services to support persons experiencing homelessness and how these funds should be invested to meet these needs. We received feedback from persons attending a virtual housing fund town hall that was held in October of 2022. We held an in-person feedback session in partnership with the Asian American Healthcare Coalition, and we conducted a needs survey across the community, which was made available in English and Spanish. We received 70 responses in English and 1 response in Spanish to that survey. Additionally, we performed an analysis of data on homelessness and housing insecurity from our Homeless Management Information System, known as HMIS. With the assistance of the County Recovery Office, we utilized all the information gathered to develop a draft allocation plan. The Board of Commissioners took action on December 15th to make the plan available for public review and comment through January 16th. We distributed another survey, and we convened another virtual town hall meeting during the comment period to gain public feedback on the proposed plan. The plan proposes that $1 million be set aside for the acquisition and development of a non-congregant emergency shelter for the homeless. $3,318,553 be set aside for the development of affordable rental housing, and $762,097 be set aside for program administration. Following today's action by the board, the plan will be finalized and submitted to HUD for their review and approval. Funding will then be made available to shelter providers and housing developers through our annual application cycle. We expect to release our funding application for homeless services and development of affordable rental housing on March 1st.
Thank you, Mr. McMullen. I'll put a motion on the table. I'll make a motion that the proper county officials, in accordance with the authority conferred by law, subject to the approval of the county solicitor, hereby authorize the amendment to the 2021 annual action plan and formally recommend the plan to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development as listed in Exhibit 1 for the review and acceptance. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, second by Commissioner Winder. Any board comment or questions for Mr. McMullen? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Motion passes. And I skipped over the approval of the minutes. So I will make a motion to approve the January 19th, 2023 minutes of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Gale. Is there any board comment?
I'm going to abstain from voting since I wasn't here last month.
Okay. Commissioner Winder is abstaining. Any other board comment? Hearing none, we'll move on to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Okay, motion passes 2-0 with 1 abstention. And next, we'll move on to the authorization to enter into a design and construction agreement with SEPTA for the Chester Valley Trail. Mr. Hartman.
Good morning, Commissioners. Welcome, Commissioner Winder. Look forward to working with you. My name is Bill Hartman. I'm the Trails and Open Space Planning Manager with the Planning Commission, and today we're going to be seeking your authorization to execute a design and construction agreement between the county and SEPTA related to the impact the planned King of Prussia Rail extension project will have on the county's Chester Valley Trail. And I direct your attention to the slide on the screen just to give you some context within the county. The area that we're talking about is located in King of Prussia, which is where the giant red star is, and it's just east of the intersection with Henderson Road and Solon Boulevard, and I'll get into some more detailed slides as we move forward here. The Chester Valley Trail Extension Project is currently under construction and is scheduled for completion and opening in early March. This nearly 4-mile circuit trail project will close an existing gap between where the Chester Valley Trail currently terminates just west of South Gulf Road in Upper Marion and the Schuylkill River Trail in Norristown. Kelly, if you could jump to the next slide, please. So if you look at this slide, the red line represents the 4-mile Chester Valley Trail Extension Project. On the left-hand side of the red line is where it starts at the current termination of the trail, moves through Upper Marion Township, through Bridgeport, and then crosses the river, ultimately tying into the Schuylkill River Trail that obviously exists now in Norristown. You could jump to the next slide, please. SEPTA's planned King of Prussia Rail Project will extend the existing Norristown high-speed line 4 miles into King of Prussia, providing a high-speed, one-seat ride from any station along the Norristown high-speed line. The King of Prussia Rail extension will have 5 stations located in King of Prussia, including the Henderson Road station just south of Solon Boulevard. So looking at this slide, the line that runs north-south on the right-hand side of the slide is the existing Norristown high-speed line. And then extending off of that and heading west is the planned King of Prussia Rail line, and each of those white dots on the solid purple line represents one of the proposed stations for the King of Prussia Rail project. And if you go into the circle, which again is just zooming in on the area that we're talking about, that white circle and the red circle is the proposed Henderson Road station. Next slide, please. East of the planned Henderson Road station, the King of Prussia Rail's elevated tracks will cross over the Chester Valley Trail at Solon Boulevard. SEPTA is going to temporarily occupy land within the Chester Valley Trail's right-of-way at the overhead rail crossing to facilitate construction of the elevated guideway structure. And so this is an aerial photo this time. The red line shows the alignment of the Chester Valley Trail, and you can see, it's a little bit hard to see, but the purple line that runs left to right is the future King of Prussia Rail project that comes off of the existing Norristown high-speed line. And you can see, if you look at where that yellow circle is, that's where the proposed King of Prussia Rail project will intersect the Chester Valley Trail. And just to the left of the yellow circle, you can see where that Henderson Road station will be that's proposed. So SEPTA is going to coordinate with the county regarding the temporary rerouting of the trail during the construction of the King of Prussia Rail project. It remains to be determined if the alignment of the Chester Valley Trail in this area will need to be modified as a result of the rail project. SEPTA at the end will restore the county's property and trail as necessary to maintain the functionality and safety of the trail by the end of construction. SEPTA, throughout the process so far, has coordinated closely with the county about the King of Prussia Rail project. A reimbursement agreement between SEPTA and the county was executed in 2021 to provide for reimbursement to the county for expenses that we incurred, and that the county's engineering consultant for coordination and services related to reviewing the King of Prussia Rail construction plans and coordinating with SEPTA during project design and construction. To continue support of the King of Prussia Rail project, SEPTA and the county now wish to replace the reimbursement agreement with a design and construction agreement to more fully detail roles and responsibilities during the remaining phases of design and through the completion of construction. Commitments outlined in the design and construction agreement include, but are not limited to, the county approving alterations within the Chester Valley Trail's right-of-way at the 30, 60, and 90% phases of engineering and during construction. And also, SEPTA will reimburse the county for its and its consultant fees during the design and construction phases up to $27,500, which represents the county's good faith estimate of these total costs. And so therefore, the Planning Commission staff is recommending that the county enter into the design and construction agreement with SEPTA. The draft of the DCA has been reviewed by the county solicitor's office as well as SEPTA. Happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thanks. Let's get a motion on the table. I'll make a motion that the proper county officials, in accordance with the authority conferred by law, subject to the approval of the county solicitor, are hereby authorized to execute and design a design and construction agreement with the Southeastern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority, wherein Montgomery County shall receive an amount not to exceed $27,000 for design and relocation services related to the coordination of the Chester Valley Trail Extension and the King of Prussia Extension. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Second by Commissioner Winder. So, Mr. Hartman, everything will be moved back as it was, or they'll make sure it's as good as it was when this is all done?
That's the plan, and since we're so early in the design process for the King of Prussia Rail project, we don't know yet whether the ultimate alignment of the trail will need to be adjusted permanently based on the plans, but as it evolves, we'll get a better sense of that.
And they'll make that adjustment then, if it does need
Correct.
to be adjusted?
Yes.
And will the trail be closed for any extended period of time during construction?
So the plan right now is that the trail will be rerouted to maintain flow and functionality during construction. Again, because we're not there yet, there may be temporary, very short-term closures. At least that's what we're going to push for if that's what's needed. But if they need to move equipment into place or whatever, it may close temporarily. But the goal
not
is
for
to
an
make,
extended period of time?
that's the goal.
Okay, thank you.
I don't have a question, Mr. Hartman. I do have a comment. I'm going to be opposing this design and construction agreement, not because I'm opposed to the Chester Valley Trail Extension, but I am opposed to the high-speed rail line in King of Prussia. I have been for 8 years now, and it's my concern that the project as a whole is very expensive. Last I heard, I believe it's over $2 billion, and the funding sources are uncertain of how the design and construction will be funded. I know the county, they're hoping, contributes to that project, and it's too expensive. And also, I'd like to see rail prioritized to the western end of the county. I believe connection to Pottstown should be a priority over the high-speed rail line in King of Prussia. So I'm against that part of the project, and therefore I'll be opposing this agreement.
Okay. Commissioner Winder, anything? All right, so we will move on to a vote. Are there any negative votes?
I'm a negative vote.
Okay, Commissioner Gale is a no. Motion passes 2-1. Thank you, Mr. Hartman.
Thank you.
All right, next we have some reappointments to county boards. The first is the Agricultural Preservation Board. I'll make a motion to reappoint Marla Hexter as the elected official representative and to reappoint John Corkum and Stephen Quigley as farmer representatives to the Montgomery County Agricultural Land Preservation Board for terms to begin immediately and to expire on February 2nd, 2026, and to serve at the pleasure of the county commissioners and in accordance with the current duly adopted bylaws. Is there a second?
I'll second that
Second
motion.
by Commissioner Winder. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move on to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Motion passes. Next, we have a reappointment to the Montgomery County Housing Authority Board. I'll make a motion that John Nugent III be reappointed to the Montgomery County Housing Authority for a term to begin immediately and to expire on February 2nd, 2028, and to serve at the pleasure of the county commissioners and in accordance with the current duly adopted bylaws. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Second by Commissioner Winder. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move on to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Motion passes. Personnel. Ms. Calder.
Thank you. Good morning. You should have in front of you the final copy of the Commissioners' Department's personnel list. It is a 3-page document dated Wednesday, February 1st, 2023, with a timestamp of 9:40 a.m. All positions have been reviewed and accounted for and are presented for consideration.
All right, thank you. I'll make a motion to approve the February 2nd, 2023 personnel presentation as given by First Assistant County Solicitor Maureen Calder and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Second by Commissioner Winder. Any board comment? All right, hearing none, we'll move on to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, advertisement of bids and RFPs. So Mally.
Yes. First, we have a bid on behalf of Assets and Infrastructure for the rehabilitation of County Bridge 101 in Lower Frederick Township. The successful responder will provide rehabilitation services to the stone masonry arch structure to allow for pedestrian and maintenance traffic. The contract will be awarded to the lowest responsible bidder. 2, a bid on behalf of the sheriff for hearing protection equipment. The successful responder will provide tactical hearing protection headsets for the sheriff's emergency response team and the bomb disposal unit. Contract will be awarded to the lowest responsible bidder. 3, an RFP on behalf of Health and Human Services for a shared housing and resource exchange counselor for older adults. The successful responder will provide counseling services to older adults with housing needs and placement difficulties. Contract will be awarded to the highest rated responder. RFP on behalf of Health and Human Services for in-home services for older adults. The successful responders will provide in-home support services which will fill in the gaps of care provided by informal supports or to provide service when no alternative exists. Contracts will be awarded to the highest rated responders. 5, RFP on behalf of the Redevelopment Authority for Environmental Consulting Services. The successful responder will provide professional environmental consulting services for properties primarily along the Schuylkill River and rail lines in support of the comprehensive brownfields redevelopment program in Montgomery County. Contract will be awarded to the highest rated responder. 6, RFP on behalf of the Redevelopment Authority for Housing Grant Administration Services. The successful responder will provide administration services of a housing grant fund program to support certain housing development and repairs projects in Pottstown. Contract will be awarded to the highest rated responder. 7, RFP on behalf of the Redevelopment Authority for the site development of the former Norristown State Hospital property. The successful responder will develop the site towards the goal of catalytic growth in the heart of Norristown to support economic revitalization in the municipality of Norristown by encouraging impactful development. Contract will be awarded to the highest rated responder. All RFPs and bids are available on the county's purchasing website at www.montcopa.org/purchasing.
Okay, thank you. I will make a motion to approve the proceeding requests for the advertisement of RFPs and bids as described by the Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Barbara O'Malley, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same, subject to the approval of the county solicitor. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Second by Commissioner Winder. Is there any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move on to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Motion passes. Awards of contract.
Yes. 1, contract award assets and infrastructure engineering for demolition of County Bridge 145 in Lower Salford Township, Whitney Bailey Cox and McNanny LLC, Wayne, PA, $137,026.57. Contract provides for engineering, environmental permitting, and construction consultation for the demolition of County Bridge 145, Roberts Road over Skipback Creek in Lower Salford Township. RFP 2242 was viewed by 45 providers with 2 responses received. Contract is awarded to the highest rated responder. 2, contract award assets and infrastructure engineering for replacement of County Bridge 185 in East Norriton Township, Gannett Fleming Incorporated of Camp Hill, PA, $355,222.19. Contract provides for engineering, environmental permitting, and construction consultation for the replacement of County Bridge 185, Germantown Pike, over 5 Mile Run in East Norriton Township. RFP 2245 was viewed by 33 providers with 4 responses received. Contract is awarded to the highest rated responder. 3, contract award assets and infrastructure engineering for replacement of County Bridge 199 in Plymouth Township. Gannett Fleming Incorporated of Camp Hill, PA, $354,187.94. Contract provides for engineering, environmental permitting, and construction consultation for the replacement of County Bridge 199, Germantown Pike over Sawmill Creek in Plymouth Township. RFP 2246 was viewed by 33 providers with 4 responses received. Contract is awarded to the highest rated responder. 4, contract award assets and infrastructure engineering of culvert replacement in Upper Gwinnett Township, Whitney Bailey Cox and McNanny LLC, Wayne, PA, $286,516.76. Contract provides for engineering, environmental permitting, and construction consultation for the replacement of the damaged South Broad Street culvert over Talmenson Creek in Upper Gwinnett Township. RFP 2247 was viewed by 27 providers with 3 responses received. Contract is awarded to the highest rated responder. 5, contract award, Commissioner's Office, Geographical Information System Software Maintenance, Geographic of Lancaster, PA, $32,000. Contract provides for Azure system maintenance and support and on-call GIS technical support. Services are available through a PA CoStarz contract. Services are for the 2023 term. 6, contract award, Planning Commission, Construction Management Consultant Services for the Ridge Pike Project for Sections A, B, and C, Hill International of Plymouth Meeting, PA, $5,341,998.83. Contract provides for construction management consultant services for the Ridge Pike Project, Sections A, B, and C, Harmon Road to Crescent Avenue in Plymouth and White Marsh Townships. Statement of interest was advertised on PennDOT's Engineering and Construction Management System with 7 responses received. Review and scoring of all submissions was completed by the Planning Commission and Roads and Bridges. Contract is awarded to the highest rated responder. Contract is for an estimated 60-month term. 7, contract award, Planning Commission, Design and Engineering for the Cross County Trail, Michael Baker International of Pittsburgh, PA, $498,167. Contract provides for design drawings, construction documents, and apply permitting for the easternmost extent of the planned Cross County Trail. RFP 2258 was viewed by 52 providers with 6 responses received. Contract is awarded to the highest rated responder. 8, contract award, Public Safety, Internet Connection, First Light Fiber Incorporated of Albany, New York, $33,037.51. Contract provides for connection to the First Light Fiber Network, which recently acquired the Keystone Initiative for Network-Based Education and Research Network of Services. Contract provides for monthly service fees for Internet commodities, Ethernet port service, and point-to-point service for the 2023 term. Service is proprietary. First Light owns and operates the fiber optic network. 9, contract award, Public Safety, 911 Recording System Maintenance, Carousel Industries of North America Incorporated of Exeter, Rhode Island, $66,902. Contract provides support service for the 911 Communications Recording System. Contract is for the period of 1/1/2023 through 12/31/2023. 10, contract award, Public Safety, 911 CAD Maintenance, Hexagon Safety and Infrastructure, Huntsville, Alabama, $546,615.48. Contract provides for proprietary hardware and software maintenance for the 911 computer-aided dispatch system. Contract is valid for the period of 4/1/2023 to 3/31/2024. System is proprietary. 11, contract award, Public Safety, Radiation Portal Monitors, Atlantic Nuclear Corporation of Rockland, Massachusetts, $43,400. Contract provides for 3 portable radiation portal monitors with a vehicle conversion kit for use in the screening of illicit sources. Specification 6494 was viewed by 2 providers with 1 response received. Contract is awarded to the only responding bidder who has met all qualifications of the specification. 12, contract award, Sheriff, Prisoner Extradition Services, U.S. Corrections LLC of Nashville, Tennessee, $750,000. Contract provides for the transportation of prisoners to be extradited from other locations and facilities within the United States to the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office. RFP 2255 was viewed by 5 providers with 1 response received. Contract is awarded to the only responding provider who has met all qualifications of the RFP. Contract is for a 3-year period with 2 optional annual renewal terms. 13, contract amendment, Assets and Infrastructure Engineering, Bridge 44 in Abington Township, Whitney Bailey Cox and Magnani LLC of Wayne, PA, $8,385.69. Original contract provides for engineering firm to perform the required engineering, environmental permitting, and construction consultation for the replacement of County Bridge 44, Morden Road over Pennypack Creek in Abington Township. Amendment provides for supplemental habitat assessments as required by the PA Fish and Boat Commission upon discovery of potential habitats of 2 threatened or endangered species. 14, contract amendment, Information and Technology Solutions, Enterprise Licensing, CDW Government of Chicago, Illinois, $81,149.35. Original contract provides for licensing of all Microsoft products used throughout the county. Amendment provides for Microsoft Azure license overages that were incurred due to the recent SharePoint migration. Additional licensing is available through a PA CoStarz contract. 15, contract amendment, Planning Commission, Engineering for Ridge Pike Project, Section D, Gannett Fleming Incorporated of Camp Hill, PA, $215,097.45. Original contract provides engineering services for the construction of Ridge Pike, Section D, Crescent Avenue to Northwestern Avenue in Whitemarsh and Springfield Townships. Amendment provides for additional hours required due to address utility relocations and structures and the review of alternate designs submitted by the contractor related to St. Peter's Cemetery retaining wall and the Higgins Foundation at Harts Lane. 16, contract amendment, Assets and Infrastructure Energy Services, WGL Energy Services Incorporated of Vienna, Virginia. A procurement process was approved by the Commissioners for Provident Energy Consulting, LLC, the county's energy and purchasing consultant, to perform an evaluation in January of 2023 to determine if the county could obtain potential cost savings through entering into an agreement with another provider. Provident solicited quotes from the electricity marketplace for pricing for a 1-year period and has made the recommendation that the county amends the current agreement with WGL Energy Services Incorporated of Vienna, Virginia, to continue service for the period of January 2024 through January 2025. WGL Energy Services Incorporated of Vienna, Virginia has offered the lowest competitive pricing, not to exceed 6.741 cents per kilowatt hour. In 17, there is 1 contract renewal and 3 amendments for Health and Human Services. Providers and services are listed at the end of the agenda and the back of the room.
Okay, thank you. I'll make a motion to approve the preceding awards of contract as described by the Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Barbara O'Malley, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same, subject to the approval of the county solicitor. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Second by Commissioner Winder. Is there any board comment? All right, hearing none, we'll move on to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Motion passes. Awards of contracts, assets and infrastructure, major construction projects. Ms. O'Malley.
Yes. One, contract amendment, architecture and engineering services, Hankin Dorn Shiles and Associates of Wayne, PA, $66,196. Original contract provides for design services for the EOC campus project. Amendment provides for the design of domestic water pumps and fire suppression pumps for each of the 3 new buildings at the EOC campus required due to inadequate water pressure. Amendment also provides for contract administration services during the construction of these water pumps. Project remains within original budget with addition of this amendment. 2, contract amendment, plumbing construction, coroner's building at the EOC campus, Vision Mechanical of West Reading, PA, $101,987.87. Original contract provides for plumbing construction services for the new coroner's building. Amendment provides for a domestic water booster pump, water meter, associated piping, and additional permit. Project remains within original budget with the addition of this amendment.
I'll make a motion to approve the preceding awards of contract as described by the Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Barbara O'Malley, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same, subject to the approval of the county solicitor. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Second by Commissioner Winder. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move on to a vote. Are there any negative votes?
I'm a negative vote.
Okay. Motion passes 2-1 with Commissioner Gale as a negative vote. Awards of contract for voter services.
Yes. One, contract award, voter services, ballot extraction equipment support, OPEX Corporation of Morristown, New Jersey, $36,525. Contract provides for support and maintenance coverage for the ballot extraction equipment used during elections. Contract is for a 1-year term. Service and support are available from NASPO Cooperative Contract. 2, contract renewal, election supplies, William Penn Printing Company of Pittsburgh, PA, $36,050. Contract provides for Election Day supply boxes for the primary and general elections. This is the 3rd of 4 optional annual renewals covering the 2023 primary and general elections as per RFP 1948. 3, contract renewal, election equipment transport, Clemmer Moving and Storage Incorporated of Telford, PA, $115,872. Contract provides for the transport of election equipment to and from the various election districts within the county for the primary and general elections. This is the 4th of 4 optional annual renewal terms covering the 2023 primary and general elections as per RFP 1904. 4, contract renewal, election ballot printing and mailing services, NPC Incorporated of Claysburg, Pennsylvania, $800,000. Contract provides ballot printing and mailing services for the primary and general elections. This is the 3rd of 5 optional annual renewals covering the 2023 primary and general elections as per RFP 2037. 5, contract renewal, election poll book printing, NPC Incorporated of Claysburg, PA, $40,970. Contract provides for the furnishing and delivering of voter registration poll books for the approximately 426 voting precincts within Montgomery County for 2023 primary and general elections as per RFP 2108. This is the 2nd of 4 optional annual renewal terms. 6, contract renewal, election voting system support, Dominion Voting Systems Incorporated of Denver, Colorado, $518,052.73. Contract provides for a county-wide voting system. Contract renewal is for the software licenses, hardware warranties, and election support services for the 2023 term.
Great. I'll make a motion to approve the preceding awards of contract as described by the Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Barbara O'Malley, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same, subject to the approval of the county solicitor. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Second by Commissioner Winder. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move on to a vote. Are there any negative votes?
I'm a negative vote.
Okay, motion passes 2-1 with Commissioner Gale's a negative vote. Awards of contract, Southeast PA Regional Task Force.
Yes, number 1, contract award, cloud hosting and maintenance for the records management system, CSI Technology Group of Keysboro, New Jersey, $154,200. Contract provides for the transition of cloud hosting and maintenance services for the existing county law enforcement records management system of Montgomery County. 2, contract award, software, hazardous material analysis software, IDSI International Incorporated of Fort Lee, New Jersey, $70,000. Contract provides for SARA software sustainment for the regional counties. Software provides risk professionals and site first responders with updated information about chemical inventory, chemical risk profiles, and hazards analysis completed by site planners for each storage site. Software is proprietary. 3, contract renewal, mobile data terminal software, CDW Government of Vernon Hills, Illinois, $66,052. Contract provides for mobile data terminal software for Delaware County. Contract is for a 1-year period. Software is available through a PA CoStarz contract.
I'll make a motion to approve the preceding awards of contract on behalf of the Southeast PA Regional Task Force as described by the Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Barbara O'Malley, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same, subject to the approval of the county solicitor. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Second by Commissioner Winder. Is there any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move on to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Motion passes. For closing commissioner comments, this is our last board meeting. The next time we meet as a board, the Eagles will have won the Super Bowl. For those of you who don't know, they'll be going to the Super Bowl. We will be having a pep rally, just as we did in 2018, 10 a.m. next Friday on the courthouse steps. You must wear exactly what you wore in 2018. Everything must be exactly the same. I've got my lucky hat here, so we hope that our employees will be able to join us for that, and we're asking you to make your own signs this time. And the Valley Forge Tourism Board, we thank them for helping us plan this. Any other closing commissioner comments? All right. Upcoming meetings, our next Board of Commissioners meeting is February 16th, 2023, and I'll make a motion to adjourn the February 2nd, 2023 meeting of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Second by Commissioner Winder. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move on to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Meeting adjourned. And we will have salary board now. Welcome to the dais, Controller Sanchez. Is there any public comment for salary board? Then we'll move on to the presentation. Ms. Calder.
Thank you. Good morning, members of Salary Board. You should have in front of you the final copy of the Salary Board list. It is a 3-page document dated Thursday, February 2nd, with a timestamp of 10:30 a.m. All positions have been reviewed and accounted for and are presented for Salary Board consideration.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve the February 2nd, 2023 salary board presentation as given by First Assistant County Solicitor Maureen Calder and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same?
I'll second that motion. Oh,
You're making it,
I'll make the first motion.
Thank you for making the motion. Is there a motion by Commissioner Winder? Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Controller Sanchez. At this time, on behalf of the county, I'd like to extend our deepest sympathies to the family, friends, and colleagues of Lydia Hartley, who worked in the Board of Assessments and passed away recently. She will especially be missed by her son, Robert Hartley, who works in our Department of Public Property. According to her coworkers, Lydia always demonstrated strength and compassion, even during the most difficult times. She also had a dry sense of humor and loved to laugh at life's absurdities. So please join me now for a moment of silence to recognize her passing and her service to the residents of Montgomery County. All right, thank you very much. Are there any other board comments or questions? Hearing none, we'll move on to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Motion passes. And I will now take a motion to adjourn the February 2nd, 2023 meeting of the Montgomery County Salary Board.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Moved by Commissioner Winder. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Controller Sanchez. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move on to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Meeting adjourned.